Welcome back. The U.S. Army partnering with Canadian miner Titan Mining along with U.S.-based permanent magnet company REalloys to develop critical minerals processing facilities at home. The move part of a broader Pentagon effort to secure defense supply chains and reduce reliance on China for materials used in weapons, batteries, and advanced manufacturing. REalloys also in exclusive Army contract talks to develop a heavy rare earth processing facility at the Tuolumne Army Depot in Utah. The planned facilities will refine heavy rare earths, including those essential to national security, and, of course, those used in the defense industrial manufacturing base. Joining me right now is REalloys CEO Lipi Sternheim. Lipi, great to have you this morning. Thanks very much for being here, and congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we've been talking about critical minerals on this program for a long time, and we know that President Trump has made this a priority. Tell us more about this partnership. What specific metals are you focused on?
So in rare earths, there are lights and heavies. Heavies would be the dysprosium and the terbium, the ones that go into everything the military uses, from F-35, submarines, missiles, drones. Heavies are where the temperatures need to be higher. So as you can imagine, anything that's operating at a much higher temperatures, such as fighter jets and things, have the heavy rare earths. Currently, China controls the entire supply chain of rare earths for heavies, which is where the processing, the refining, the metallizing, magnet making. And we are focused on making sure that this is brought to North American shores, and we do the full supply chain in North America between the U.S. and Canada.
I'm with Ryan Payne this morning. Ryan, jump in.
Well, you made a good point. 80–90% is refined in China right now with these heavy rare earths. I guess the concern becomes at some point, if we start up our facilities here, does China just start dumping on the market again like they did historically, and that basically wiped out all the other players? What's your protection against that?
So there's a law coming into effect on January 1st, 2027, goes by DFARS, which is that the U.S. defense space, the defense industrial base and the U.S. defense cannot procure anything that has a Chinese nexus, which is a law in effect. This is not an executive order or anything, it's the law. So that, I think, in our case, in our scenario, would help us protect us against that. As far as in the light business and those things, the government is, which is for the EVs and things like that, the light rare earths, the government has put in price floors to some companies, namely, you've seen it in the news when they did a deal with two other companies and put a floor price of a floor in effect. So that would protect you against the price dumping.
Well, look, the Trump administration celebrating a major win against China in African rare earth minerals. The U.S. backing American company Virtus Minerals to develop 2 cobalt and copper mines in the Democratic Republic of Congo. That project would be the first U.S.-backed critical minerals investment in the country since the president announced the Washington Accord back in December, as Beijing currently holds 44 million metric tons of critical minerals reserves compared to America's nearly 2 million. China now tightening its rare earth grip on U.S. firms by imposing new export restrictions on certain rare earth metals to U.S. companies. That affects MP Materials and USA Rare Earth, both key recipients of U.S. government support. Lipi, what are your thoughts on these restrictions from China, and how is it possible that the U.S. is so reliant on China for these things? How did this happen?
So we gave away for cost reasons, I guess, over the last 40 years, over the last 4 decades, we've given away things to go fast and cheap and hard, and gave away in the process the fundamental security that we had with controlling things that we have. Currently, China controls, for the most part, all the refining and processing of rare earth. As you know, President Trump said rare earth is not so rare. It's not it's not the rocks that are rare. It's the processing and refining, which are complicated technologies. It's also not a clean business, so to speak, so we let it go there, with today's environmental permitting and things like that. What we've done in that context is we've created cleaner, more efficient, American ingenuity, put together a flow. So today, the processing that we have, for example, just to throw out an example, hydrofluoric acid, which is one of the dirty parts or the unclean, dangerous parts of the business, we've created a hydrofluoric acid-free version. But for the most part, in a general sense, all the processing, everything was offshore in the last 4 decades. We're slowly bringing it back. But there is a deadline, DFARS, which is, as I said, on January 1st, 2027, the defense industrial base cannot buy anything with the Chinese nexus. The reason the military partnership is so important, because that gives the country the security it needs. Nothing is reliant on other countries after that. We're building it here. We're building it with a partnership with the Army on their bases. That's how important this is for national security. And the supply chain is brought back home to North American shores.
Yeah, so I guess what do you need to continue to scale up? I mean, President Trump wants this mass production done yesterday. What do you need in terms of policy, in terms of just practical changes to ensure that you actually do have the goods to produce and refine those materials here in America?
So we've partnered with the Canadian provincial government in Saskatchewan, which has built a processing plant here in China. It's the only one with zero China nexus, currently the only processing plant. We're focused on heavies, as we said. We have a company in Ohio that's been metallizing for the DLA for many years, different products in rare earths, in exotic rare earths. And putting that supply chain together now, aside from what you hear from the government, they're putting money. As you know, Trump, he's given a lot of companies money. This administration, Department of War, Congress, the OFC, the DFC, there's many pockets of the government that are funding different components of this business. And I think you're going to see a difference. I don't think you'll see it overnight, Maria. I don't think it'll happen in a week or two. But I think in the next year, 2 years, and going to 2030, I think this problem with China won't be a problem in as much as it is today, and would be long on the way of being sustainable on our own.
Well, that's
when you
wonderful.
see the military doing a partnership, I was going to say, when you see the military doing a partnership where they're putting this processing on their own land, they want it in their purview, and bringing the military, the permitting that happens there is a lot easier with the whole Army infrastructure, making it easier for companies. You see it with us. You see it with the other 3 companies that were announced in this partnership. As you said, in Africa, you see it this morning. You see when the Chinese Silk Road Initiative, we're taking that initiative now, going and partnering with companies in other countries. That's all bringing it home to America, thanks to the vision of Trump and this administration.
Yeah, well, these are all national security issues, so we understand. Lipi, it's great to have you this morning. We'll be watching your work. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Lipi Sternheim joining us. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You're watching Mornings with Maria live on Fox Business.